You cannot be a pretty girl and you are single. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Precious. If this is your first time coming across this channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you have come across this channel before but somehow you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please hit the subscribe button also. In this video, I'm going to be talking about pretty girl stereotypes. I need for my pretty girl list to come forward so we can have this conversation, because personally I'm tired of pretending that these stereotypes do not exist, because they absolutely exist. And I'm going to be sharing my first-hand experience with this plenty stereotypes. And of course, towards the end of this video, I'll be sharing with you guys how I was able to navigate these stereotypes and actually find myself, if that makes sense to you. But watch to the end to understand what I'm talking about. Stereotype 1. If you're a light-skinned person, okay, now I'm not trying to be colorist or anything, but I'm just keeping it real over here. If you are light-skinned and you're very pretty and you're confident, you have an insane aura, and your carriage is beautiful, my dear, just know that you're automatically termed to be a rude and proud person. It's like before people even get to experience you, they already perceive for you to be a proud person in their head. I've had someone say to me that you look like trouble, you look like wahala, you look like a load of problem, and I'm like, excuse you. That was so funny, because what do you mean I look like trouble? Like, I have no business with you. We haven't really dealt with anything together, but you're already saying I look like trouble. I started hearing this you're proud, you're proud, you're proud, you're proud thing from my teenage age. And at the time, it never made sense to me, because why is everybody saying that I'm proud? And the people that have these opinions are the people that I do not know them. I just see them the way you just see people in church, in school, and just go your way. That's just it. But for every time I hear their opinion about me, it's like, that one, she's proud. And I'm like, proud, okay. People will get intimidated around you naturally. It's a fact. If you don't even have to do too much to be noticed by people, or to be envied by people, I could be going through a hard time. I could be, be struggling, and someone is there talking about how proud Precious is. Oh my God. Am I the drama? Am I really the drama? You guys, but even in the Bible, Jesus asked his disciples, who do people say that I am? So I said to myself, maybe I'm the drama. Maybe there's something these people are seeing that I'm not seeing. And funny enough, the people that had this loud opinion about me were people that weren't close to me, like people that I do not even speak with, people that were not friends. None of my friends had any of these opinions, but it was coming from people that have no business with. And then I said to myself, okay, let me take it upon myself to control this narrative. And I tried controlling the whole pride thing, but in the process I noticed that I was beginning to shrink myself. I was beginning to dim my light. I was intentionally trying to not be seen by people. So if I'm not seen by them, that way they will not have that opinion about me. Do you see how crazy it sounds? Yes, I went through that, and I also came out of that, because my light is too bright to be dimmed by people's opinion. So yeah, if you are pretty, just know that you're naturally tamed to be a proud person. You're rude, you're problematic, One of the things I realized about this was that it was their insecurities speaking. Yes, it was just a reflection of the way they felt about themselves. And I said to myself, I'm not going to pander to anybody's insecurity. No, I'm not going to do that. And the fact that they want to humble you so badly, as in, hey, they want to humble you. They want to have the aha moment. I humbled this girl that carries herself like she's Dangote's daughter. I've actually had someone say that to my friend, that this your friend, she carries herself as if she's Dangote's daughter, as if she's so person's daughter. What will happen if she finds herself in that shoe? Let me say it in his words. When she's walking, she will expect people to bow down to her. And I'm like, yeah? Well, it's not so much of a bad idea for you to bow down to me. But since I realized that it was their insecurity talking, I was like, everybody should just be going. I do not care about your opinion about me anymore, provided that I know myself. I'm grateful for growth because right now, for you to even thrive in big spaces, you need to make yourself seen. You need to put in the work. You need to know how to speak correctly. You just need to have that courage, that confidence. If you have a problem with the fact that people term you as rude or proud, my dear, I need you to get out from your head and understand that it is their problem, not yours. Stereotype 2. How dare you be pretty and single? It's not possible. You cannot be a pretty girl and you are single. I saw this post on Twitter where someone said, when you get close to a pretty girl that is single and you get to date her, that's when you realize why she's single. So that's to say, if you're pretty and single, it's just because of your bad character. A pretty girl has no right being single. Hey God. Oh my God. We have suffered though. You can't even be single in peace. Like, you cannot be pretty and decide to be single in peace. I don't know, maybe they think that, like, in your DM, every man is hustling for crumbs of attention. Like, your DM is so busy. Your DM is filled with lots of men lined up waiting to be considered by you. You guys need to see my DM. You guys really need to see my DM. So yeah, that's a stereotype. Okay, so it's like, if you're pretty and still single, that's just because you have a bad character. You have no business being pretty and single. You should be jumping from one relationship to another, from one talking stage to another. You cannot, you be single. How dare you? No, get yourself into that relationship, baby girl. The truth is that people can decide to be single for so many reasons, for a plethora of reasons. So being pretty is not a reason for anybody to just be in a relationship at every point. Singleness is a phase, and I honestly wish that people will stop pedestalizing pretty girls like that. Like, how can you be this fine and you're single? Like, excuse you? What kind of question is that? I don't know if I would call this a stereotype or just a fact. But as a pretty girl, just know that every guy coming close to you wants just one thing. Read my lips. One thing. Every single one of them. They want one thing. Before you find a guy that just looks at you for you and just wants to be friends with you, it's hard. That one thing, I'm very sure you guys know the one thing I'm talking about. All of them, every single one of them, even if there are exceptions, the exceptions are very few. At first, when it started happening to me, like when I'm just open to making male friends, and along they're being nice to you, just like that, along the line you begin to hear certain things that doesn't make sense. And when you say no, they move on. Like, well, I was just here to want to get that one thing from you, and since I'm not getting that one thing from you, I'm just going to move on with my life. I do not care for the friendship, and that's it. When I started experiencing it earlier, of course in my early 20s, I was like, it never means, like, why are you guys like that? Not once, not twice, not thrice. It was just very consistent. And I've had someone say to me, why would I want to be friends with a pretty girl like you? I have female friends. No, I do not want to be friends with you. I just want this. And I'm like, okay. See, I'm laughing about it, but it's not funny. It's not funny because nobody wants to be your friend, especially the guys. No guy that is coming to you wants to be your friend. So right now in my life, if you're moving towards me, I'm like, make it clear. What do you want? In fact, I'm not looking to have male friends. I'm not looking to have that with anybody. The male friends I have in my life are the guys that I grew up with in church, in school, around my house. Every other person, just carry yourself and be going. Just be going, because all of them, even the ones you hold in high regard, all of them want one thing. Those sides not tell you. All of them, they want one thing. When you don't give it to them, they go. I got to understand that it's in the nature of men to always behave that way. They want what they want. So it's in your place to always say no if you do not want it. Say any or no in capital letters and keep it moving. My own duty is to come and tell you that you see all those male friends, all those guys that are coming, being nice, exceptionally nice, and all of those things. My dear, they want one thing, no. And if it is not mutual, please keep it going. Just go your way. Stereotype 4. Oh my god, I'm having so much fun doing this video. But let's get into the stereotype. Pretty girls are seen as promiscuous. Yes. They are never seen as reserved. You reserved? No, how can you be quiet? How can you be a reserved young lady? How can you even be keeping yourself for marriage as fine as you are? No, if you're a pretty girl, you're reserved, you're modest with your dressing, you're keeping yourself for marriage, you're just like really quiet. You will hear things like you are wasting your fine face. You are this fine and you're not doing anything with it. Go out there and see what people are saying are using their fine face for. It's like, how are you pretty and you're using this kind of phone when you can just call Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C and just say to them, change my phone ASAP, and boom, the next day you have like 10 phones delivered to you, and all you have to do is to just choose one because you are that loose. Why does everybody expect a pretty girl to just be with so much men? Like, what is wrong with you guys? What is going on? That's not a flex and that's not nice. Stop pedestalizing pretty girls. Let them be. We are not problematic, I promise you. We're not, although they are problematic ones, yes. But generally, I just want for these stereotypes to be fixed and to totally end. I would never forget to add that pretty privilege is a thing. It is an actual thing. But one thing I will always advise my pretty girl is to do is that for every privilege you get, accept the privilege and keep it moving. Okay, don't accept that privilege and just keep going back. Nothing is entirely free. The more you go back, the more you will have to start giving back to the person. So for every privilege you receive from a person, thank them so much. Hey, thank you so much, God bless you, and keep it moving. Run away else you're going to keep paying back for those privilege, and the moment it gets to that point, it's no longer a privilege. We are seen as gold diggers, oh. Hey, we are seen as gold diggers. You work hard, care. For everything you achieve is being attributed to a man. Just know you don't have depth. You can't even hold a meaningful conversation. It's like pretty girls are seen as a fancy material that you just want to flex on and do one or two things with them, and that's just it. They do not deserve commitment because their problem is too much, because their fineness used to enter their head, because they are very controlling. I remember this time that I was speaking to a guy and somehow I got to meet his sister. Yes, I met his sister and a few of his friends. And I'm very antisocial. So being the antisocial type, I tried so hard to really flow with everything. Also considering the fact that I was meeting them for the first time. So everything flowed naturally, like, and I was like, please tell me why these people went to tell the guy that this girl looks like an actual slay queen, a baddie. If you know me, you would know that I do not use those terms for myself. No, I hate those terms. Like, don't call me baddie or anything. I'm just precious. So he came back to tell me that, and I'm like, well, I'm not trying to do anything with them. The person I have a business with is you. What do you think about it? Do you think I'm that person? And then he said, no, I've known you. I know you in a way that they do not know you. Like, okay. So this is one of the reasons why I don't think I can be with an insecure person. Like, an insecure person, an insecure man. No. I'll keep it moving. Well, I've had some ladies say that it's lonely for them being a pretty girl because their female friends are jealous of them. They always stab them in the back. They are quite envious of them. I saw a post on TikTok where a girl was talking about whenever she hangs out with her light-skinned friend and someone comes to approach them, she automatically goes to the back and gives space for them to talk to her friend because she knows that they are not coming for her. And someone in the comment section said something like she gets jealous of her friends because of it. And I'm like, Wow. So I think getting genuine friends that just see you as you are, not as a competition, is also hard. Yes, it's quite hard, and it's quite a lonely journey. And even when you get some of these friends, their jealousy is like they want everything you want. They just want to, if there's a way they can be like you, they will. They won't even compliment your beauty. They will try to humble you in their own way. Like, I've heard that from a lot of pretty girls. I've heard them say the same thing. I've seen it on social media, how lonely it is for them being pretty, because everybody automatically wants to be like them. Everybody is jealous of what they have. Without, and you guys do not realize that these people are just humans that just have a pretty face. The jealousy, the envy, the competition that we get from even friends, strangers, people, it's just, it's crazy. I could be going through a tough time. I could be stressed, and someone out there is just jealous of me. Ah, I don't even have the kind of money that I want to, and they're behaving like that. When the money comes, what will people now do? And trust me, when the money comes, there will be signs. So let's talk about how I was able to navigate all of this. So when I started experiencing, all of this, having people talk about me, the old, the young, the friends, the strangers, the everything in between, I was like, okay, what is going on? I was very aware of what was being said about me. And oh, okay, as much as they were talking about the whole pride thing, there were also people that were saying, oh, I love the way you carry yourself. Oh, I love your energy. Oh, I love your aura. I love that you're pretty. I love this. I'm like, okay, thank you. I was just aware of everything. And like I said earlier, I tried to intentionally control the narrative that people had about me. So by intentional, what do I mean? I started shrinking myself. I didn't try to say too much. I didn't try to do too much. Not like I was doing too much before, but I was intentionally trying not to do too much. So when I find myself in a situation in public, I'm like, how can I behave in a way that people will not see me and be like, this confirms what we see about this girl. Are you people not seeing the rudeness? Are people not seeing the pride in this thing that she's doing? Do you see how conflicting that is? It's almost like I was beginning to lose my sense of self because I was trying to behave a certain way. That is, when I think about it, it's like, this is really crazy. But at the same time, I wasn't trying to people please. I wasn't trying to appeal to any of those people. I had no direct relationship with them. I never tried to get close to them for them to just see me in a good light. I wasn't doing all of those things. My focus was to just change the narrative generally, so people will not exactly see me as a proud person. You do know one thing about shrinking, eh? The more you shrink, you keep shrinking, and it becomes so comfortable because it gets to a point where you're not seen. It gets to a point where your light is totally dimmed, and honestly, that is not a good place for someone to be in. And I'm saying this so that you never get to that point, so you never ever try to shrink yourself because of what anybody's saying about you. You're a shining light. Shine. I was able to get out of it because I realized that this was what was happening to me. It was becoming so comfortable being in that box, not having to do too much. And if you're an ambitious person, you know that being in that box, you will stay there till you enter 100 years without achieving anything at all. Because of why exactly? So I think I prayed about it and I said to God, I do not understand this anymore. Please, I need to get out of this box. And if I'm a rude person, as they say, fine, let me be rude. If I'm a proud person, as they say, fine, let me just be proud. But one thing I'm never going to do anymore is to shrink myself. If I'm a bad person, like they say, you see, bad people do things and they do not know the impact they have on the people that are doing it too. I was having this struggle. Myself was conflicted. I was also always, it was as if I was battling with finding myself. But I'm glad that I was able to come out of that box mentally, psychologically. I said to God, this, you're going to help me just get out of the flaws that I have, right? And also, I know myself. So I'm not going to listen or to subconsciously take in people's opinion of me. anymore. And yeah, that was it. I was liberated from all of it. Thank you for watching, guys. So what are the pretty girl stereotypes that I didn't talk about? I'll be so glad to read it in the comment section. Please do not forget to subscribe. Bye.